Hey guys, Technomentary here with the video for you guys. In today's video, we're going to talk about the iPhone XS Max in 2022, if it's still worth buying it, and things to consider if you're going to be considering buying that iPhone XS Max here, or if you're still using this phone, what you can expect out of it this year. We're going to talk about it in depth and let you guys know. So the iPhone XS Max here was released back in 2018. Not to get confused with the XS here, which is a smaller form. The Max here, it's sort of the name for the plus sizes. So that regular one used to be that 5.8-inch display. Now if you look at the Max here, it's a massive 6.7-inch display, a huge display, bigger bodied phone. And it's the first time with the iPhone 10 and the 10R, the Max edition came out for the XS. Again, a big phone. If you're a huge fan of big phones like the Pro Maxes or the Plus, what used to be the iPhone 6, 7, and 8 Pluses, this is where the XS Max comes into play. This phone again is phenomenal because there's a lot of stuff going on for this phone. Again, lots of upgrade when we start to look at this, and it's something that we wanted to talk about for a really long time because this phone again in 2022 there's a lot of changes coming on, but at the core of it, this phone here does do a couple things for us here. So although this phone is now over 3 and close to going to be 4 years later in this year, it is having a lot of things for us. First thing to talk about, it's going to be the body build of this phone. So when Apple built this phone, it built it pretty much the same way as the iPhone 10 and the XS here. You got that back glass here that allows you to do wireless charging. You got that whole frame body right now. We got that bezel here. You can actually get this phone in the base colors like the iPhone 10 year. You can get this in silver, which one we have here. You can get it in the space gray edition and the gold as well. So you got 3 different colors to choose from, and those are the base color that Apple went with. In terms of the actual software and hardware build of this phone, which has that A12 Bionic chip right now, if you look at the iPhone 13, which has the A15 Bionic chip, the iPhone XS, again, that A12 Bionic chip with that 7 nanometer chipset came with a lot of power and greater efficiency than, of course, the A11 chip itself. And one of the things that it was known for, its processing power. Again, when it came to things for heavy graphic gaming, the iPhone XS Max did excel in those areas. Now, the other thing to mention about the iPhone XS here, if you think about hardware, it's going to be that it is a water resistant phone, so you can actually take it in water because of its water resistivity. But the other downside of this phone is that both front and back is glass, so if you crack the front or the back, it simply would be water compromised, so do be careful. The more interesting thing, or one of the things that you want to know about the iPhone XS Max, because it's a bigger body phone, it's able to hold one of the bigger phones when it came, bigger size battery when it came out, a whopping 3179 mAh battery, which again, in terms of all day usage, if you're a medium user, you can pretty much go the whole day on a single full charge. Now if you're a heavy user, of course, you might need to plug it in one more time, maybe 2/3 of way of the day, but again, nonetheless, a good battery here. Now the other thing we want to quickly mention, it's going to be the camera here. This camera that you see on the iPhone XS Max here, again, these two 12 megapixel camera are phenomenal cameras. Of course, it's not the 3 like the iPhone Pro lineup does have. These two 12 megapixel camera does bring in a lot of efficiency in terms of signal processing that allows us to capture some amazing HDR photos. And even when it comes to portrait mode, you got a wide variety of pretty much portrait mode style photos. So if you really are looking to enhance your photography skill, this is where the iPhone XS excels in. Even when it comes to video recording, you can go all the way up to 4K 60 frames per second. Again, taking some really good videos for even YouTube that we did on this phone. Again, it came out really well, and you guys can see some of those videos in our channel that were recorded with this phone. So a lot of stuff going on with this phone. We did mention that because it has a bigger phone, bigger stereo, it does produce some really amazing sound here going for this phone. Now the other thing we do want to talk about is the software aspect of this phone. So when it came out back in 2018, it was on iOS 12, and right now we're on iOS 15, and later this year it's going to be most likely if not 100% sure that it's going to be getting iOS 16, and even next year in 2023 it's going to probably get iOS 17, because most iPhones nowadays are supported for at least 5 years or so. So expect this phone to be around for another good 2 to 3 years on the major software updates here. Now, to kind of answer the question, is the iPhone XS Max worth it in 2022? And our definite answer is going to be yes, it's definitely worth it. And the couple of reasons why it's going to be worth it, it's because of the price point. Again, when the phone originally came out, you were paying close to $1,100 plus tax. So you pay almost close to even $1,200 in some cases for you. But this phone made a lot of change, and right now, after 3 years or so, the price has dropped. You can actually get this phone around $350 to $400 pre-owned, since Apple no longer sells this phone on their website. You can go on to eBay and Amazon, which will leave some link in the description section, so if you guys are interested, you can check those out and purchase this phone, because you're paying almost 1/3 of the price for the same software that you get on the iPhone 13 lineup. So what is it missing that makes it a no? So if you're really looking for 5G right in 2022, which seems to be the case for most of carriers now looking to utilize 5G for that speed, it doesn't support 5G. That's probably the biggest downside of the iPhone XS Max here. The other thing, of course, it doesn't have is that the refresh rate of 120 hertz, which the new phones have. And of course, lastly, it's missing that third camera. Would be awesome to have a third camera, especially if you're going to be looking to really enhance your photography skill, and some night shot as well for night mode as well. So those are going to be some things that's missing, but for a price of around $350 to $400, the iPhone XS Max definitely worth it, with a good battery, decent camera, and performance like a new iPhone 13. So there you go, guys, have it for our review. We want to hear from you guys what your thoughts are on the iPhone XS Max here. If you're using it, used it, or thinking of buying it, leave a comment in the comment section. Thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.